Okay, well, we're continuing here with the, what now is the cleanup of the cylinder of the block mating surface with the cylinder head. And I worked on this for a couple of hours, and what I found is that gasoline is a pretty good solvent. I got most of the major stuff off. There's a couple of areas that I'm probably going to have to use a very fine wire brush on. And you can actually see the indentations from the old gasket. But anyway, it's looking okay. The head I'm going to take to a shop tomorrow, and they're going to give an assessment of the cylinder head. But while I've been boring myself doing that work, I started working on the gas tank over yonder. And this pile is stuff that just came out of the gas tank with hardly any prodding except for just knocking it, banging the side of the tank. Even though this looks like rust, I think this is just dried varnish, but of course, who the heck knows? Anyway, I guess this is what gasoline turns into after 30 years. Oh, man. The inside of the tank looks no different. But anyway, this is going to be an adventure. I'm going to be devising a way to clean the tank out. I think I mentioned before that I was going to use a combination of electrolysis and I don't think we can see anything in there. I think I'm going to use a combination of acetone and then follow it up with some electrolysis. So I actually found a bunch of rebar, and I'm thinking what I'm going to do is, if I can slip this rebar in there, what I'm going to do is put blocks of wood on both ends of the rebar. I've seen people do this in videos. Slip this into the tank, and I'll probably solder a wire to the very center of it, I guess, or something like that. And that'll serve as the anode. And I'll put a power source on it. We'll see how that works. And I plan on leaving it for quite a number of days. I plan on doing this over the winter many, many times. These are parts that have come off the car so far. Let's see if we can get a shot in there. Yeah, I don't know. Not so good, but I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see how much we can actually, what the tank's actually going to look like when it's done. It looks bad, but it doesn't look horrific. I guess that's relative. Anyway, all right, more on this later. All right, continuing along. What I'm going to do is try to clean off this surface a little bit. And what I figured I'd do is I made myself a little sanding block with 1,000 grit sandpaper glued onto a little block. And what I'm going to do is just work it along here with some WD-40 just as a lubricant and see how that works. All right, so let's give that a shot and see what we get. All right, well, there's a couple of things I think we're going to try with this. Let me get some WD-40 on this. And I'm thinking, you know what, I should put it on the block. I figure a little bit of WD-40 into the galleys. Those oil passages shouldn't be that big of a deal. I also have as a backup, I don't know if that messed that up at all. I have as a backup my trusty old razor blade, which I can use with I'm using 1,000 grit and just trying to knock this down a little bit. And I'm creating a little bit of a slurry. Creating a little bit of a slurry with that, of course, as you would expect. And let's see what it looks like under there. I would say that looks pretty darn good. I'm going to get a close-up of that, and you can see like you can see an area that I did versus what I did not do. I went up to about here, and over here I stopped about there. It's probably a little bit too much light, I'm not so sure. So I think that does a pretty good job. I think that's good enough for government work. I'm going to try to work my way around the cylinder liners also. But that seems to be pretty good. All right, so I'm going to continue to do that all the way around the perimeter here and see how it goes. All right, nice video. Well, I cleaned this off fairly well. Looks pretty darn good to me. Anyway, I took the cylinder head out to a local machine shop and they surfaced it. So I'm going to go run down there right now and go pick her up. Okay, well, guess what came back from the machine shop. This was done locally at a shop that only specializes in cylinder heads. It's a one-man operation. But anyway, he said that this head is in great condition. He only had to take off a very minimal amount of material off the top, off the deck. I think he said something about 2 or 3 thousandths. And so what he also does is he cleans the ports, or I should say the top of the cylinder head. And he also cleaned inside here, and this was all without disassembling the head, of course, but not getting a good picture of that there. But there was a lot of carbon in there, and he was able to get a lot of that out. He said it should be fine. You can actually see some remnants in here. Where the heck am I? Right over there. It's a couple of remnants. I can probably get some of that out. Yeah, you can see a little bit of that over there, but without taking anything apart in the head. I'm not going to take the valves out. The guides I am going to trust are good because this is a very low mileage engine. So the news is the prognosis. The news sounds good. I'm going to clean this up just a little bit just to get some of that grimy grease off it. And we shall go from there. So, looking good. Well, this is a little unbelievable. So I decided to tap the underside of the gas tank with this rubber mallet. If you want to call it a rubber mallet. It's a low impact mallet. You know, and I'm just tapping it because I figured I'd try to loosen up some more of the particulate rust, whatever the heck is in there. And I got out another pile of of this rust, sediment, whatever. It's very gritty. I think there's a lot of rust in it, obviously. But anyway, that's pretty nasty. So something was bouncing around in there. So what do I find? This, I don't know what the heck this thing is. It looks like it rusted off right over here. That looks threaded. I hope this thing isn't threaded in there somewhere. I don't know what this thing is. I'm going to take a closer look at it. Let me get it up on the workbench. Not that I have a lot of room on my workbench. I don't know. This, I'm not sure if this is plastic or not. I don't think this goes on the bottom of the sender anywhere. I'm going to clean it up and see what it looks like. Get a little bit more intel on this thing. Okay. This is the mystery part. It's a bottle cap. Believe it or not, it survived in pretty good condition at the bottom of that tank. But so that's the mystery. I probably took way too much time cleaning this thing, but I wanted to actually just look at it for its characteristics. Well, anyway, so that's what it is. Kind of funny. I don't know what I guess this was some kind of oil or maybe additive. I don't know. Who knows? Maybe it was dropped in there at the Alfa factory. I don't know. It's an interesting thing. All right. Well, that mystery solved.